मैं इतना हिंदी इतना अच्छा नहीं बोल सकता हूँ, लेकिन सूर्यकांत जी के लिए एक बात बोलना चाहता हूँ. कल yesterday Madras High Court has stayed saying that you cannot use temple funds for anything else without the consent of the trustees. अभी trustees नहीं है, and so long as that matter comes before Justice Mahadevan or PD Adikeshwar, you can expect that they will continue to hold this position. Number one. दूसरा information. अपने secular नो गॉड ये सब बात किया. आप लोग को मालूम है कि नहीं, करुणानिधि जी जब घर से निकलेगा, उसका घर का सामने कृष्ण का मंदिर है, कृष्णा जी का मंदिर है. इसका सिक्योरिटी उधर जाएगा और वो पुजारी उधर आरती करेगा. जब वो आरती करेगा तभी ये निकलेगा घर से. तो ये जो गॉड नहीं है, ये नहीं है, मंदिर लूट करेगा, ये सब पब्लिक और वोट के लिए. तीसरी बात, मैंने सूर्यकांत जी को बोला चेन्नई आ जाइए, साहब को लेके जाना पड़ेगा ई रोड. दिस नो गॉड थियरी केम फ्रॉम E.V. Ramsamy Nayakar, Ivera, from where all these political parties whose ideology is publicly no God, privately there is God. He has built a temple for Vishnu. That family has built, even today it is maintained by that family. तो ये जो नो गॉड है, ये सब वोट बैंक पॉलिटिक्स के लिए है, not the truth. And so long as we have some good judges, I am sure it will be protected. And today I can assure him, and for that matter to all of you, that there is some kind of feeling that Hindu temples are being looted. At least that has come about in Tamil Nadu in some significant manner, and therefore people are getting together to stop this matter. Having said that, I'll get to my topic of population control, right? Sure. Population control, there are multiple methods according to me. The first of the method which has failed the nation is what happened immediately after emergency. That's not the right method. Will legislation work? Legislation, in my view, is only a fear. You must educate the public. Now let's look at some bit of history. I'm not getting into politics of it, but let's look at some bit of history. Until the 12th century, until the beginning of the 12th century, we were largely a monogamous society. One man, one woman. This polygamy, polyandry, all this came much later. If the Islamists tell you that, look, 4 wives are permitted, that was also not the truth. Quran doesn't say it. Quran doesn't say it. It also talks of living together, of a husband and wife. Man, one woman is the theory of Quran. Now please understand, unlike a Bible or a Mahabharata or a Ramayana, there is nothing in the Islamic society or Islamic religion. All that they say is that the laws for the Islamists have been given to Prophet, and Prophet will tell you what the law is. When Prophet says the law, it is interpreted in a manner that I think which suits me. somebody else will interpret it in a manner that suits him. And just imagine, how many of you know that at least in Tamil Nadu it happened, in Chennai it happened, Ramzan for most Muslims ended on 3rd of this month, 3rd of May. But there was a small sect of people for whom it ended on 2nd of May. There's a small group which follows the Saudi Arabia or Islamists, within one certain category I can tell you that many of them follow Prophet, but some of them follow not the Prophet, but Ali, Prophet's son. And therefore there's distinction. So every religion has distinctions. You come to Christianity, Protestant, Catholic. Hinduism has a number of them. Now these all suited a particular situation and therefore they came about. For example, I'm only talking of situational needs. If you look at Badrinath temple, the priest there wears a top. In Tamil Nadu, you cannot do that. Tamil Nadu is hot, you don't wear it. There it is cold, you wear it. So situation demands that you wear some clothing on top. Now this is not a practice. My friend's good friend, Zakir Naik, I've heard him on some of his YouTube channels. And he has said the truth. He says Islam doesn't have multiple women in life. Islam doesn't look at it. But then he also says in his YouTube that multiple women in Islam is welcome for the spread of Islam. Because more children spread. It has its consequences, which I will relate to in a short time. What does Manusmriti say for the Hindu? Mutual fidelity must continue until death. Therefore, it is death of both. It is not death of one. If the wife dies, the husband has to live without a remarriage. That is the Hindu concept. This is what Manusmriti said. In 1955, we destroyed it. My good friend referred to, or Guruji referred to Nehru as a Hindu. I don't agree. In 1955, the Hindu Marriage Act was amended where a Hindu can marry more than once. Of course, in some circumstances. I am not denying it. But the fact is that the Manusmriti was given a go-by when Hindu Marriage Act was enacted in 1955. It is not that polygamy did not happen, but polygamy was not a permissive society. Some aristocrat, some king had multiple women in his life. That doesn't mean it becomes the law. Unfortunately, Zakir Naik says, look at Mahabharata, look at Ramayana, they have multiple wives, and therefore he says that is Hinduism. Hinduism never advocated it. Hinduism has never advocated multiple women in life. It has said only mutual fidelity between one man, one woman. That is what Manu said. Hinduism is not Hindu Marriage Act. It is not Special Marriage Act. Now again there, the Hindu who decided to have multiple women in his life, he has to justify it. Luckily, the Hindu Marriage Act gave some kind of a justification for it. But if you look at historical record, which I tried to look at, whether it is Rajaram Mohan Roy or Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar or very recently our Swami Dayananda Saraswati, they all fought against this evil practice of polygamy. And all progressive societies look at monogamy. That is one man, one woman. I'll get to why I'm getting to this. Now, yes, we had a situation of polyandry in India also, and for that matter, world, where there are multiple husbands to a single woman. Why did that happen? Historically, not every woman had multiple men in life. Because they wanted to keep the family property together. They didn't want some outsider to come and take it away. That was the only reason why polyandry was practiced and permitted. There was no other reason. History doesn't talk about it. And this was practiced largely by the Irava community, the Vannier community, and some parts of central Travancore, not elsewhere. I am not able to see, of course, a portion of what I would call as somewhere near Mathura, it was prevalent. And they attributed it to Lord Krishna, which is also not correct. Also not correct. Krishna didn't marry everybody. He wanted to protect the lady. But we unfortunately imputed that motive to him, which never happened. There are other tribal communities which still practice polyandry, and I am aware of the fact that the Toda community in Nilgiris, a little near Ooty, they practice this, but nowhere else. It is only to preserve the family property and nothing more. Dasharatha, the father of Lord Rama, had 3 wives. So what? But did ever, I ask myself this question, and I want to ask every historian this question. I don't want to ask religious leaders. So the Hindu religion never considered practice of polygamy as licentious. It never permitted by any license that this can happen. It is only after this Hindu Marriage Act was enacted that all these things came into. And there again, let's assume I get married and this cohabitation between me and my wife, we are not able to get a son. It permitted provided she consented. No lady, according to me, no lady wants to share her husband with other women. And similarly, the other way around. And yet all this happened because of some societal compulsions. But look at what happened in Islam. I am not critical of Islam, but the way people have interpreted it to suit, and I told you very clearly that the law in Islam was given to Prophet Muhammad. So whatever he interpreted, and when he interpreted some law, I took it in a manner that suits me, my friend took it in a manner that suits him. Islam considers marriage, which they call as nikah, as a sacred institution. Now what happened? When did this multiple women in life come in Islam? Sir, young men went to war. They died in the war. The widow at the age of 21, 22, 23, she became a widow, probably left with a son or daughter who is 3 months, 6 months. That child needed a father. So therefore, when these men came back, they took into custody, and this was permitted. The other women, so long as they could afford to maintain them, they can take it. Not otherwise. They must justify first maintainability. And maintainability is not merely cohabitation, it is financial maintainability, bringing up that child. And that child will never miss a father. That was the concept. Unfortunately, today we interpret it differently. I have a Hazrat Mirza Tahir Ahmad. He clearly explained, he's a great Islamic scholar and very much unlike a self-proclaimed scholar like Zakir Naik. It is evident from a study of the Holy Quran that a special situation of post-war period is being discussed. It is a time when society is left with a large number of orphans and young widows, and the balance of male-female population is severely disturbed. A similar situation prevailed in Germany, etc. Therefore, it was permitted. Now take Ladakh. Again, men-women population, that ratio distorted. Therefore, there are not even enough women for men. This issue starts. So it's more of a social phenomena. Christianity, I would like my friend Joe DeCruz to say whether Bible ever said multiple women is permitted. To my mind, multiple women is not permitted. But in Africa, some people want it. They want to, for whatever reason. So there they have interpreted it to say, yes, it is permitted. And one of the finest Christian scholars, Hastings, says it is permitted. I don't know from where he got it. I tried to search it. I couldn't get it. The issue is as simple as this. If you do not, it's not about religion. You must tackle it from multiple. If you want to control the population, you must tackle it for multiple ends. One is religious, legislation, but most importantly, education. And the men or women who get married and who are educated, they will not permit this. Because education, as Swami Vivekananda once, the quote from Swami Vivekananda is, education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. Religion is the manifestation of the divinity already in man. Each of us is divine and we know what is right. But we do a wrong thing and justify it by relying on somebody who made some foolish statement, and we think that is right. Ladies and gentlemen, for want of time, I will stop here. A lot more to say, but I will have to stop here. Thank you very much.